After today's video, you will learn the key to resetting your brain and stopping the vicious cycle of limiting beliefs and emotions that produce results that don't even come close to your true potential. Most people today either have no results or have terrible results in life. They live in an endless loop of repetitive problems. Money runs out before the end of the month. They try to save something and suddenly the car breaks. They get sick. It feels like life is an eternal cycle of problems, while only a few people seem to enjoy not only money, but freedom. Freedom of time, freedom with family, financial freedom, geographical freedom. Have you ever stopped to think about this? Why are there so few people who have access to a dream life? It's true that there is a global elite that perpetuates heirs decade after decade. But let me emphasize again that I'm not talking only about money. I'm talking about a life that is worth living. There are billionaires who live extremely stressful, lonely, joyless lives, without love, without family connection, without happiness. Money is not the primary issue here. I'm talking about people who live a life that truly feels good. A life with financial prosperity, yes, but much more than that. A life where freedom actually exists. And the truth is, it is absolutely possible to live a life of deep freedom and joy, even in today's human circumstances, as long as you learn to master your brain's machinery. Although our consciousness transcends both mind and body, the brain itself is nothing more than a machine, a computer that runs certain programs. If you understand how this computer works and learn to navigate these programs, if you gain mastery over the machine, then it becomes inevitable that you start accessing a new level of life experience. It becomes inevitable that results begin to appear. The first belief you must break if you truly want to reprogram your brain is the idea that you are the one choosing your own decisions. This veil needs to be torn down. Our choices are not conscious. On the contrary, more than 90% of them are unconscious. Your unconscious mind is like an ancient autopilot running a very old program, a program that reflects your shadow, everything you swept under the rug over the years, especially during childhood. Did you know that? Write it here in the comments. I will personally read everything you write, okay? Back to the point. The human brain is nothing more than a copying machine. From the moment we are born, everything we learn is a copy of our parents. We learn to walk by watching them walk. We learn to eat by watching them eat. And in the same way, many times we learn from them that making money is hard, that there is no love left in the world, that success requires suffering. And your brain, with its excellent ability to learn, absorbs all that and throws it into the unconscious mind, which begins repeating those patterns. Everything you believe is a conscious choice is, most of the time, just an unconscious reaction. Stop now and think. How many times have you promised to change, only to fall back into the same pattern? How many times have you said, "never again," and then did it again? Your brain has an alarm system that was programmed before you even learned to speak, and it is controlling your decisions right now, in this exact moment, without you noticing. It learned all the beliefs it holds today and acts on emotional, unconscious responses. Essentially, we act most of the time through our emotions, driven by them. It's as if there's an emotional autopilot that takes over milliseconds before your rational mind wakes up. In the next few minutes, you will understand why your emotions sabotage you and how to reset the pattern that keeps you stuck in the same results. But here's the twist no one tells you. Your rational brain, the one you think makes decisions, is only the narrator. The real decisions are made 500 milliseconds earlier, deep in the primitive brain. You make decisions emotionally and then use rationality to justify them. This is exactly what happens when you buy the car of your dreams. Logically, you don't need that car. A car's purpose is simply taking you from point A to point B. But you go there, make the emotional decision, and only afterward try to justify it. Oh, I bought this car because it's more comfortable, because it uses less fuel, because it has more technology. But none of that was part of the decision-making process. You made an emotional decision because that car filled an internal emotional void. And after the purchase, your rational mind simply tries to create reasons that make it seem logical. And here's the crazy part. You're watching this video because your emotional brain decided yes. It wasn't a conscious choice. It was a trigger, a pattern, an emotional memory activated the moment you read the title. Now imagine being able to hack this system. Imagine entering the back door of your own brain and rewriting the code that makes you repeat the same mistakes, attract the same toxic type of person, sabotage the same opportunities. That's exactly what we're going to do now. And what I'm about to teach you goes against everything you've learned about your mind. Do you want to know where the real command center of your brain is? It's not in the prefrontal cortex, the rational brain. It's in the amygdala, a tiny almond-shaped structure that decides whether you will be rich or poor, loved or rejected, free or imprisoned. The amygdala makes those decisions based on one single thing: pure emotion. Think about it. When you were a child and your mother yelled at you for the first time, your brain didn't record the words, it recorded the tightness in your chest. When your father said that money doesn't grow on trees, your brain didn't store the phrase, it stored the feeling of scarcity, the fear of not having enough. Your brain doesn't store facts, it stores emotions. And here lies the problem. Every time a similar situation appears in your adult life, a business opportunity, a new relationship, a chance to grow, your body reacts before your mind processes anything. That cold feeling in your stomach when you think about asking for a raise? That tightness in your chest when a big opportunity appears? That's your amygdala screaming danger based on a memory formed 20, 30, or 40 years ago. It's literally your adult body reacting with the fear of a 5-year-old child. Let me show you how this works in practice. When you meet someone new, in 88 milliseconds, less than a blink, your amygdala has already scanned their face, voice, scent, and posture. And if anything about them resembles someone who hurt you in the past, boom, an alarm goes off. Your heart races, your pupils dilate, your muscles tense. And only 200 milliseconds later, your rational brain invents a story. Oh, I don't trust this person. Something feels off. Better keep my distance. But the decision was made earlier, at the emotional level. This is why you procrastinate. It's not laziness. It's your emotional brain associating action with pain. Maybe as a child you were punished for making mistakes, criticized for trying something new. Now, as an adult, when it's time to make that important call, start that project, launch that business, your body triggers the same fear response, and you delay. Then you blame yourself, thinking it's a character flaw. The same thing happens with money. If you grew up hearing that rich people are dishonest, that money is dirty, that wanting more is greed, guess what? Every time a real financial opportunity appears, your body sabotages you. You forget to send the proposal, miss the deadline, charge less than you're worth. None of this is conscious self-sabotage. It's your emotional system protecting you from a danger that exists only in your memory. And the worst part is, this becomes an infinite loop. Fear, avoidance. Avoidance confirms the fear. Fear strengthens the neural circuit. Stronger circuit, more fear. A perfect prison. You spend your entire life running from emotional ghosts. But now comes the part that will blow your mind. These circuits are not permanent. Neuroscience has discovered that our neural pathways are plastic, malleable, not fixed. Science proved that you can literally rewrite these connections. There is a reprogramming window the brain enters, and when you learn how to access it, that's when the reset happens. And the method for doing this is so counterintuitive that 99% of people do the opposite. Now I'm going to tell you the most brutal truth about your brain. It's not designed to make you happy. It's designed to make you predictable. That's why people stay stuck in the same cycles for years. Your brain is a machine that conserves energy by always seeking what is familiar. Think about it. Why do you always attract the same toxic type of person? Why does your money always run out the same way? Why do you sabotage success at the same moment every time? It's not bad luck. It's not destiny. It's your brain running an old survival program written when you were 3, 5, 7 years old. Here's the mechanism. Your brain consumes 20% of all the energy in your body. For an organ that weighs 2% of your body mass, that's enormous. And its number one strategy for saving energy is repeating familiar patterns. Every time you make a new decision, your brain burns a huge amount of energy. But repeating an old pattern, minimal cost. It's the difference between driving in a new city using GPS and driving home on autopilot. Your brain prefers even something painful but familiar over something new, even if the new thing liberates you. That woman who always falls for emotionally unavailable men, her brain recognizes the pattern. Emotional distance equals safety, learned from an absent father. When a loving, present man appears, her brain screams, "Danger, unknown territory," so she sabotages it every time. The entrepreneur who always crashes right before success, same thing. Deep down, his brain associates success with abandonment. Maybe his father prospered but was never home. Maybe his mother said, "Rich people are bad." It doesn't matter. The moment he gets close to success, the brain screams, "Go back, unknown zone, return to safety." And the frightening part? This happens in milliseconds. Before you think, before you choose, your body has already triggered stress hormones, narrowed your vision, shortened your breath, and then you decide to quit the course, end the relationship, skip the meeting, cancel the job interview. But none of it was your choice. It was unconscious emotional response and energy conservation. The same happens to your health. You know what you need to do. Eat well, exercise, sleep better, but every Monday you promise and don't follow through. Why? Because change requires energy, and your brain was programmed to see change as a threat. 100,000 years ago, in the African savanna, the unknown could get you killed. Predictability kept people alive. You're not in the savanna anymore, but your brain doesn't know that. And here's the twist. Fear is not your enemy. It's a loyal employee doing exactly the job it was hired to do, keeping you alive. The problem is that it's using a 100,000-year-old manual to navigate the modern world. But there is a way to update this map. There is a specific window where the brain becomes more malleable, more plastic, more open to rewriting its patterns. And now we arrive at the moment that changes everything. The moment you discover that you are not condemned to repeat the same movie for the rest of your life, because there is a window, and it's opening right now as you listen to me. Neuroscience discovered something revolutionary. A child's brain can create more than 1 million new connections per second. And even though that number decreases as you grow older, the adult brain still forms new synapses constantly. Right now, as you process these words, your neurons are rearranging themselves. New connections are being formed. This is called neuroplasticity, and it means one powerful thing. You can rewrite your mental programming. But here's the secret no one tells you. You don't change when you understand. Understanding is purely mental. You change when you feel something shift inside you after understanding it. Let me repeat. It's useless to know your fear of abandonment comes from childhood. It's useless to understand that you sabotage success because of your father. It's useless to read 1,000 self-help books.
Knowledge without emotional experience is just a dead file in your brain. The reset happens when you create a new emotional experience that overwrites the old one. It's like recording over a cassette tape. The old song doesn't disappear, it is replaced by a new frequency. And how do you do that? I will teach you the technique now. It's so simple, it seems ridiculous, but it works deeply. When the trigger appears, when you feel the fear rising, the anxiety tightening your chest, the urge to run, stop. Don't run, don't fight, just stop. The best thing you can do is pause and watch yourself from the outside. Stop and observe yourself. Take a deep breath and count to 10. As silly as it sounds, this moment is extremely important. Breathe deeply, pay attention to your breath, count to 10, and begin observing yourself. Observe the emotion you're feeling. No judging, no interpreting, just observe. And here's what happens. For the first time in your life, you are present with the emotion instead of being hijacked by it. You are in control, not the autopilot. And in that moment, exactly in that moment, your brain registers, wait, this is not dangerous. When you open this window of self-observation, new neural connections form. And each time you repeat the process, the pathway grows stronger. It's like walking a path in the forest. The first time, you have to cut through the branches. The second time, it's easier. By the 10th time, it's a paved road. But know this, if you truly begin observing yourself and stop making purely emotional decisions, your brain will resist. It will create 100 excuses. This is silly. This isn't working. Better go back to what's familiar. Why? Because change consumes energy. That internal resistance is what we call catharsis, a moment of internal purification. It's the sign that it's working. It's your old brain fighting to stay in control while the new one is being born. And there's more. The ideal moment to create new neural connections isn't when you're calm on a beach with your family. It's when you're in the emotional storm, when the trigger is active, when the fear is present, when the emotional decision is forming. That's when the window opens. That's when the brain becomes malleable. That's when you can enter and rewrite the code. Now, you understand more about how your mind works. Now you see the rules of the game. You can already see that you are not a victim. At most, you've been a prisoner of a program written in childhood and reinforced throughout your life. So, is it easy to reprogram yourself? No. But is it possible? Completely possible. And because the brain loves predictability, most people will reject this knowledge because they prefer to stay trapped inside their own internal matrix. That's why this kind of knowledge is not for everyone. Most people prefer to identify as victims, and that's okay. What matters is that you choose not to be a victim anymore, that you have the courage to understand how your mind works and liberate yourself from it. You are a free consciousness, condensed into physical form, experiencing reality through a computer, your brain. If you reprogram this machine, your growth and success become limitless. Because when you truly accept that you are creating your reality all the time, you begin taking responsibility for your choices, your growth, and stop making excuses. That's when you start growing and achieving everything you've always dreamed of. Thank you so much for your attention. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe, activate the notification bell, and share this video with someone who needs this message. Sending you my heartfelt fraternal hugs as always, and I'll see you in the next video.